You're doing the right things, and it still feels like you're losing. You're not reckless. You're not lazy. You're not blowing your paycheck on yachts and champagne. You're just trying to live a normal life. And the numbers won't stop moving. You get paid. You pay rent. You buy groceries. You try to save a bit. You skip a few things. You say no more often than you want to. And somehow, month after month, it feels like you're running. But the finish line keeps sliding away. Here's the part that makes you feel crazy. You can point to your choices and say, I did everything reasonable. So why does it still feel like you're falling behind? Because you're playing a game where the rules change quietly. And the enemy isn't your coffee. The enemy is that prices rise in the background while your life is stuck on fixed settings. Inflation. Not the scary headline version. Not the economists arguing on TV version. The normal version. The version where your grocery bag gets lighter for the same money. The version where your rent goes up because the market. The version where your phone plan, gym membership, insurance, transport, all get a little more expensive, one small increase at a time. And you don't notice it in one moment. You notice it when you look at your life and think, why do I have less space to breathe than I did last year? This is what inflation really does to you. It turns stable into slowly worse. It doesn't kick the door in. It leaks through the cracks. And if you're 20 to 30, it hits you extra hard because you're in the phase where your money is supposed to start building momentum. This is the decade where small wins should stack, where saving should start feeling easier, where you should feel like you're gaining control. But inflation makes your progress feel fake, because it attacks the thing you think you're building. Not your bank balance, your buying power. That's the difference no one explains. Your bank balance can stay the same and you still get poorer. Because buying power is what your money can do, how much life it can buy you. And inflation reduces that without asking permission. Here's one fact that makes this real. If prices rise just 3% a year, in 10 years, 100 euros buys what about 74 euros buys today. That's not a crash. That's not drama. That's just quiet erosion. And it's why you can be responsible and still feel behind. Because your life costs don't wait for you to feel ready. They rise on schedule. But your income doesn't. Your income usually moves when someone allows it to move. Once a year. Maybe. After a review. After approval. After you prove yourself again. Meanwhile, prices don't need a meeting. They don't need a performance review. They just keep going. So when people tell you, just budget better, it can feel insulting. Because you already did. You cut the obvious stuff. You delayed the fun stuff. You tried being disciplined. And somehow, the reward for being disciplined is you get to stay in place. This is why your frustration makes sense. You're not imagining it. You're not bad with money. You're reacting to a real squeeze. You're feeling what happens when the floor rises under you. And the worst part is what it does to your brain. It makes you blame yourself for a system problem. It makes you think, maybe I'm just not trying hard enough. Or it makes you swing the other direction and think, fine, if I can't win, I'll stop caring. Both reactions are normal. Both reactions are dangerous. Because inflation doesn't just take money. It takes optimism. It makes you feel like planning is pointless. Like every time you get ahead, something takes it back. And that's where people get trapped. They don't get trapped because they're stupid. They get trapped because the game rewards short-term comfort and punishes long-term patience. So what do you do when the enemy is something you can't punch? You don't beat inflation in one heroic move. You stop fighting it with the wrong weapons. Most people try to fight inflation with tiny cuts. No coffee, no fun, no life. And they call that discipline. But if your life becomes miserable, you won't keep going. You'll quit. So the goal isn't to become a monk. The goal is to stop letting inflation quietly decide your future. Here are 3 minimal shifts that actually matter. First, stop using your bank account as the scoreboard. Your bank account tells you how you're doing this week. Inflation is a long game. So start asking a better question. Can my money buy the same life it bought me last year? If the answer is no, you're not failing. You're getting a signal. A signal that you need a different plan than save whatever is left. Second, treat income growth like self-defense, not ambition. A lot of people think wanting more money makes them greedy. No, Wanting your life to get easier is normal. Inflation is basically a tax on staying the same. So your job isn't to become some hustle machine. Your job is to avoid being frozen while everything around you moves. If you don't build the ability to raise your income over time, inflation will slowly corner you. Not with one big crisis, with 100 small, it's fine moments that add up. Third, stop parking long-term money in places where it quietly shrinks. If money is meant for next week, keep it safe and simple. But if money is meant for years from now, it needs a different home. Because the safest looking place can be the place that slowly steals from you. And that's the trap. It feels responsible to keep it untouched. But untouched doesn't mean protected. Inflation touches it anyway. And if you do nothing else after this video, do this. Stop blaming your character for a math problem. You're not crazy for feeling pressure. You're not weak for being annoyed. You're seeing the game clearly. And once you see the enemy, you can stop wasting energy fighting the wrong thing. You don't need to obsess. You don't need to panic. You just need to stop living by rules that worked for someone else in a different decade. If this hit a nerve, good. Not because it's painful, because clarity is power. And if you want more videos that explain what's really going on with money without the guru nonsense, then you'll probably like what's next. Just don't let a quiet enemy convince you that you're the problem.